Solomon Dust with Vale of Amonition. I play the guitars and studio sessions. I occasionally do the bass.
Yep. Victor Roserath, Vale of Amonition, founder, guitarist, vocalist, lyricist. Vale of Amonition is a doom metal band that I formed in 2009 in Kampala, Uganda. It grew out of several different ideas. Mostly it grew out of the need to have a place where I could sort of formulate stories and concepts and explore myths, mythologies, sort of tied to my own heritage, but also tied to my own imagination. And really that's where it all came from. So Vale of Ammunition essentially means Valley of Ammunition. It's a place of warfare and strife and really a place of doom. And the stuff that I was into, the metal that I was listening to that fed my need to create was stuff like Black Sabbath and Candlemas and Solitude Eternus and bands like these. So I wanted to create music in a similar vein, and really that's where it all began.
Our best player was supposed to be here tonight, but is facing incarceration. And speaking of incarceration, this next song is about incarceration because aren't we all incarcerated in some way? Aren't we all in some sort of jail, you know? So this one speaks to all of us. This one speaks to all of us. I need you all to gather around and listen. Oh Father, please forgive us all our sin. We dream your light against the little way. My prayers are not answered, they fade out to die. And so that's the last dream of hope. The morning will come no more. Our dreams are undone. Morning come to blood. Darkness is falling in paradise. Darkness is falling in paradise. Darkness is I know my death is near, far beyond my dreams. My fate is waiting to show me the Lord. I will live, yes I will live. Darkness is paradise. Darkness is in paradise. Goddamn.
For me, it's the ultimate form of expression as far as my artistic ability goes. I feel it's, as far as just writing in general and just performance and all that, I feel it's the most extreme art form available to me and the one that I can express myself, maybe not 100%, but at least to the hugest percentage available to me, in terms of expression. For now, at least. Maybe later on I might find some other vehicle for my artistic expression, but for now, heavy metal just means, what it means to me is being able to express, being able to write and tell stories and perform. It's life, man. It's everything that I am right now.
To me, heavy metal is an extreme form of expression musically, and of course, walking off the beaten path of pop culture and confronting subjects that make people uncomfortable. The things that move about in the dark. Like people don't want to acknowledge, or they acknowledge they exist, but they do not want to
Go there.
So for me, heavy metal, of course, the basic expression would be ultimate form of rebellion. But yeah, I guess that's it.
What is African heavy metal?
African heavy metal. I guess it's just heavy metal played by African bands, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have its own tag to it. I guess, though, where you could begin to. The more bands develop these days are found, because we've been part of the scene for a long time now, and that's the general African metal scene. We've been part of the scene for a while now, and you'll notice the trend is that most bands from Africa these days are beginning to incorporate more and more elements of the musical, heritage of their land, so to speak. More native, more tribal influences are beginning to creep in the heavy riffs and stuff. And so I guess eventually African heavy metal is going to be something that is heavy metal with very blatant African musical influences. Or, you know, I mean, it could take all kinds of weird turns. I don't think it can really be. I'm going to leave that job of description to somebody else, because I don't feel I'm equipped to really label any band besides my own and what kind of music they're playing. But I guess, you know, that's it.
Yeah, personally, I would say that heavy metal is just heavy metal, and it's not like cuisine that today I'm going to have some Chinese or what. But if we are to say African heavy metal, I would say it's probably heavy metal with influences and topics concerning, you know, like the African where people come from, like what we deal with, like in our everyday lives. So definitely the topics you're going to find are going to possibly be, with some bands, they're going to revolve around like the tribal elements, the spiritual elements, and of course then the general nation depression and melancholy, all that kind of stuff.
Regarding us anyway.
Regarding us.
Yeah, the whole melancholic stuff is always going to be part of who we are in terms of identity.
Yeah. And some bands of course will do the political stuff, you know, oppression, that kind of thing.
Right.
Things are getting crazy in here, and we can't promise we'll do the best, but we'll try to fuck around with some Maiden. The elders in the house, do you give your permission? We want to cover some Iron Maiden. The elders in the house, come on! Come on! All right. Let's do this. to go. Clever path for the fools to know the secret of the hangman. And the city's sun in a holy place. But I watched and I waited for the dawn. The lights of the blind don't see. The gallant ties fast wide. The eyes of the Nile are open and you see. Proof to this! Come on, let me see you! Proof to this! Proof to this! Proof to this! Proof to this! The castle of the warrior, adorning the sanctity of Babylonia. The walls made without the cold. Will cast a spell with just one blessed rays of the judge that between the walls below. And the nightmare has returned to the lands where it began. Summon now the warrior of dawn, which light the ancient words. Make us one with him. The castle of the warrior of dawn, she was in the midst of our fire stone. Minds project the room, with the makes between one and the other while in times we can spell for our demise. But the spirit will send to the wastelands of the deep. Come on now, the warrior of dawn, which light the ancient words. Invoke the lords of hell. Proof to this! Proof to this! Come on! Thank you! All right. Are you having fun?
Cool. Who's your favorite band?
That's a very, very difficult question because my tastes move around quite a lot, depending on seasons and the mood. So if I give a band a number, then I would just be assigning myself to one particular thing. So maybe what I can say, I have like bands I rotate back to, like in most times. I'd say My Dying Bride, Insomnia, Solitude Athenas, Swallow the Sun, Virgin Black. It's general, like if because there's doom, there's death metal, there's sometimes I will go into black metal. So it's seasonal, I guess. It's seasonal for me.
Mine would have to be Type O Negative. Type O for me like just cover the whole spectrum of what I like about metal, because they had anyway. Rest in peace, Peter Steele. They had the doom and the huge riffs going for them. The Black Sabbath influence is very prominent. Then they had the Beatles influence creeping in with the poppy, catchier tunes. Then they had the punk and the totally unwashed and raw and dirty, filthy side to them, at least on the first albums. And of course the gothic, the dramatic, theatrical stuff they did as well. So they ran the whole gamut from from bleak and dark and depressing to hilarious and tongue-in-cheek. And I always loved that about them. So I feel like they're all encompassing. So if I had to have a favorite band, I'd say Type O Negative, or I'd say Swans. Swans is a whole different ball together, but they also kind of have the same reasons I like Type O. They cover a whole ground of deviant music thing going on. So yeah. Type O.
Yeah, and just to add on the mentions, Catatonia as well.
What struggles do African bands face?
A ton of struggles. Mostly, you worry about if this is going to be sustainable, especially for me who doesn't really have a lot that I want to do, in life regarding holding down a 9-to-5 job or something so standard. I'm an artist, and that is what I do, and that is what I want to do. So the biggest challenge is always figuring out, is this really going to sustain me? Because I've got bills to pay and I have this and that to do, and so you worry about the financial capacity for this thing isn't broad. It's fleeting and it's not very sustainable. That is the hugest challenge that I know most of my other friends in other bands face as well. It's really the biggest challenge.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it any better. Sustainability, because you have to write the music, record it, and sometimes you might have to play, stuff for little to no pay, and and all this stuff costs money, and so that's the biggest challenge. I think not only African bands. I think most bands do face this kind of problem. And considering we do not have a big local scene, in Uganda it's actually not there at all. So you're not going to really rely on playing gigs to make a few bucks. So sustainability is one of the core challenges.